Welcome to Stonebridge Manor by Ashton Woods in Waddell, Arizona. If you're thinking about moving to Waddell, stick around. We'll be covering everything you'll want to know, from the community itself to the schools, amenities, local stats, and more. Stonebridge is a new neighborhood that's slated to have 114 homes. Now, the homes will range anywhere from about 1,570 square feet up to just over 3,000 square feet. And they'll have a variety of floor plans ranging from 1 to 2-story homes. The community will have basketball courts, bocce ball courts, playgrounds, or as we call them, tot lots, green spaces, and walking paths. It's designed for residents that want amenities, but without feeling crowded. Some of the pros for living in Stonebridge Manor is that Ashton Woods is known as a quality builder that puts together modern, energy-efficient homes with customizable plans. So you can make some changes to these floor plans. Not your own particular stuff, but they'll give you multiple options for, if you want to make it an extra bedroom versus an office versus maybe you need an additional garage space. So there'll be those kinds of options. And being a smaller neighborhood, you're going to have typically a more quiet, family-friendly oriented neighborhood with all the different children's activities that they're putting in there. And then of course, this area is very close to the White Tank Mountain, so you get all the benefits of the outdoor activities nearby while enjoying the stunning mountain views. Anytime we have pros, of course, the other side of it is going to be some cons. There is not a ton of local transportation out in this particular area. And then you're going to have very hot summers, as you will have in most of the valley, often with temperatures above 110 degrees in the summertime. Another consideration is anytime you're in a smaller subdivision like this, which I would consider just over 100 homes a smaller subdivision for us in Arizona, you might see a little bit higher HOA costs. If there is a need to do any repairs or fix something like a playground or a sidewalk or whatnot, there's less homes that cost along too. So that's always something to kind of keep in mind and consider. Whereas if you're in one of these larger subdivisions where they have, a couple thousand homes, less of a ripple effect if there's anything needed in the community areas. Now let's talk about the bigger picture of living in the Waddell area as a whole. Living in Waddell will have more of that quiet suburban feel. There'll be much less traffic, especially considering some of the subdivisions and cities and neighborhoods closer to the Phoenix metro area. As I mentioned, you'll have great access to the White Tank Mountain Regional Park, where you have those outdoor activities like hiking and biking. Just like Stonebridge Manor, Waddell itself is a newer growing area. So as you're there over time, you will get the benefit of seeing the new shops and retail and dining that will be coming to the area. And then for now at least, Waddell's homes usually offer bigger lots and more space in between the homes compared to many of the cities that we see across the valley. And then there's relative affordability in Waddell. Home prices, while rising, are still often much more affordable than, say, Gilbert or Scottsdale. So let's dig into some of the cons of living in Waddell. As I mentioned, even for Stonebridge Manor, there is just not much for public transit. So expect to have a car or need access to a car, especially with the summer being triple digits for months of the year. And when I say months, I mean, late spring to early fall. And depending on how our year's going, sometimes that's as early as the end of April, for sure, probably into May. And then our heat sometimes will extend all the way into the first week of October. If you do need to drive into the Phoenix metro area just to get to the downtown section, you can anticipate anywhere from probably a 35 closer to 45-minute drive. And you probably already guessed it, but there is no nightlife. If you're wanting to hit the town after hours, you're absolutely probably going to be driving into Phoenix or Scottsdale. Now, anytime you are in a growing, newer community, yes, you can anticipate a lot of construction. But most importantly, you need to know about Luke Air Force Base. You will hear the jets screaming overhead, especially when they're going through their training exercises. When we were filming out on site, it was a little challenging because they were training that day and we kept having to stop and pause because you could not hear over the jets. Now, Some people love this, and I hear all the time that's the sound of freedom, and amen, I love that, especially being former military myself. But for others, sometimes it's a nuisance or they work from home and it's just not a viable situation with Luke Air Force Base essentially flying overhead all the time. Crime rates are an important consideration, of course, and the great news is Waddell appears to have a fairly low crime rating with just 9 incidences per every 1,000 residents. Let's talk about schools. If you are moving here with children, you need to know about the schools in Waddell. Waddell is served by schools like Mountain View School, which is rated an 8 out of 10 by Great Schools, and Canyon View High School, which ranked 142nd out of 270 high schools in Arizona. These schools offer solid academic programs and a range of extracurricular options. Residents at Stonebridge Manor are close to shopping and dining, including the new Village at Prasada in Surprise. So you're fairly close there to the city of Surprise, which offers big name stores and restaurants. Keep in mind, of course, small town feel, Waddell hosts a farmer's market every Sunday from October to April at the local high school. It's a good spot for fresh produce, local vendors, and food trucks. So let's dig into the demographics of Waddell. Waddell has nearly 13,000 people, and of course with all these new builds coming in and the growth of Waddell, we'll see that number increase over the next few years. In the meantime, the average age is 35, with the average household having 3 people. As of April 2025, the median home price was just over $523,000, which was up 11% from the year before. When I pulled the MLS listings for the city of Waddell, I came up with 155 homes for sale. That's not very many. And shocker, 82 of those 155 homes were built in 2023 or newer. So the bulk of the inventory there is brand new homes by builders. As a matter of fact, the entire 155 homes were all single detached standalone homes. No manufactureds, no mobiles, no condos, no townhomes. The prices ranged anywhere from the least expensive at $365,000 to the most expensive at $2.5 million. There were about 20 homes out of that 155 that were in the $1 million range, and most of those homes were on acre plus properties. To sum it up, Stonebridge Manor offers new homes in a quiet suburban setting with growing amenities and great outdoor activities. It's a good fit if you're looking for a modern home or a new home and you don't mind a little bit of a drive or work or some nightlife. Thanks for checking out Stonebridge Manor with me in Waddell, Arizona. Hit the like and subscribe button for more community highlights. See you in the next video.